The weekly feed, Kyle Meredith, Houndmouth. Hi, guys.
Hey.
It's nice to have you back. It's the new record, Little Neon Limelight, which probably isn't enunciated as much as we're doing here.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Yeah.
The second record, congratulations. You've done a fine job, not drifting off into obscurity after the first one.
It's a slippery slope.
So I've heard. So this is great, but it's got to be something, because you always hear of the sophomore slump, the sophomore curse. That ever play in your heads as you're doing this? Like, okay, we presented ourselves. Like, I remember hearing the story when Crosby, Stills and Nash, they released the record first, and everybody's like, oh, but can they do it live? And they really had to prove themselves. And it's kind of backwards for you guys, but here it is. You've proven yourself.
Yeah, I think we didn't think about it.
That's good.
Yeah, because we'd heard about it, but we didn't want to think about that.
Yeah.
That kind of stress would just cause us to go apeshit.
So what do you go in? Because these songs, had they been around for a while at this point?
Yeah.
A little bit. And when like the first album, it was like personal experience and like people we've met on the road. Because we've always liked the darker side of America, you know, like those weird characters.
Right.
But this was characters we've met and personal experience.
And how dark were the characters that you met versus the ones you made up and imagined?
Well, we romanticized still a little bit, but like my cousin Greg, for instance, isn't, complete. I can't say that word.
What, complete?
I thought you did really well, actually.
I know, yes.
All right. I don't know what you're trying to get at.
He's not a complete asshole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
See, I can't say
Yeah, no.
But he can be.
So with you guys writing then, I mean, I've heard this is a more personal record, but when you're looking at this, so what you're saying is you're taking it from the people you've met and you're kind of fictionalizing it as you go along? Do these people know that?
Probably now.
Like, I mean, what I'm asking is there actually anyone real on the record that you had to like reach out to and say, I wrote you into a song?
We wrote a song about my cousin Greg, and
and you actually have a cousin Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a physicist, and it's kind of like he would always say, we used to play music with him, he'd always say, you guys are doing great, you're touring, this is what I've always wanted to do. Meanwhile, he got his master's in physics and is going to be a physicist out in LA, and to me, that's a pretty awesome thing to do. So we did a song about like the juxtaposition of living a good life in like a straight life, and as opposed to the glitz and glamour of being on the road. Right. Yeah.
How did the rest of that song come about? Because everybody sings in that song, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of, we just threw some lines together about Greg that we thought were funny. Yeah. That's the romanticizing part about it, because he's a great person, and not so much in the song.
Not so much in the song.
Poor cousin Greg. So when that happens for you guys, because you're in a band where you have essentially 4 vocalists, like everybody can sing, and is that the only song on the record though, or you kind of do everybody's in?
Yeah, I think we really wanted a song where we all sing on the same track, and that one was kind of silly and lent itself to us doing that.
Yeah, I'd never seen a show where like the focal points would change during. Usually you just have a singer and it's you're kind of honed in on one person the whole time. But I think we have it's kind of beneficial to have multiple singers and songwriters, because the show can kind of move around a little bit. Yeah.
Now, as far as the writing, how's the dynamics changed? From like, so you first get together and it's a ragtag bunch you put together. Half of you don't actually play the instruments that you're, playing at the beginning, and you've got to learn to write. How's the writing now changed that you've had plenty of time on the road?
I mean, the first record it was pretty much written before we became a band, and then we kind of put all the songs together on a record, and it sort of made sense and worked together. But this record kind of feels more like a first record for us, I feel like, because we wrote, all these songs in the last year and a half, 2 years.
And we care about them a lot.
Yeah, and they're, there are a lot of songs on the record that aren't, about characters. They are personal songs, and that was kind of lacking, I think, from the first record.
Because there's a lot that's happened in the meantime. I mean, relationships have been made, marriages have happened.
Yeah, we've been through a lot, I think.
Yeah. And how do you do that? Because you're a mid-level band, trying to survive like a bunch of other mid-level bands.
Right.
How have you figured out to carry on a personal life when you're touring 9-10 months out of the year?
Well, it's different for all of us, I think.
Yeah, still figuring it out.
I just have to be invested when I'm home.
Yeah.
100%. I can't it's hard to even justify going out to shows and leaving your significant other behind,
Right.
because then it's like, oh, I know I'm going to be gone for 9 months, but just trust me, I don't want to miss this show.
Yeah.
And I just stay out of the whole relationship.
Don't even mess with it.
That's my plan.
What, did it ever come a part where there was like burnout?
Oh yeah.
Like, what was at that point like, why are we doing this? Oh God, I just want to go back home.
Yeah, like the 8 a.m. lobby call, especially. I had to stop drinking for a while on the road. Just
You
those
poor.
8 a.m. lobby call.
Couldn't drink on the job anymore, man.
I can't be around you guys unless I'm drunk, honestly.
Yeah,
It's,
really though, like shows were getting sloppy because we played the same. We toured for the first record for like a year and a half, so it's like shows are. It's just kind of getting repetitive. So you're drinking and kind of pushing your boundaries, and then 8 a.m. comes around every morning for an 8-hour van ride, and it's just not sustainable.
yeah.
There's no such thing as good sleep in it.
No.
One of these days you'll have to graduate to the bus.
One of these days.
The bus. Yeah, right. It's this one. And Sedona is doing great. I know you've actually got kind of a bona fide hit on your hands, which is kind of nice. Do you hear those when you're writing them? Do you go, that's going to happen? It's going to work.
Mm-hmm. So Sedona, we were playing in green rooms a lot. Matt was on an acoustic guitar, and every time we played it, I thought it was just super catchy and fun. It turned out way different than the way it was sounding before, but I liked it, you know.
Did you do any?
I think that's. We're not trying to write hit songs. I mean, we were just writing songs that we like,
Right.
you know.
I guess that's how you have to do it. I mean, you hear the bands that go in there and workshop to death.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
No.
It's
so
like it's
diluted.
not. Yeah. It seems like everything got really formulated after a while. Like
Right.
this is the formula how you write a hit, and you go in. It's like trying not to think about that. Just like how we try not to think about the sophomore pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Pressure album.
We actually recorded this record. I mean, it was like a week and a half, and it was completely live. We didn't have headphones. We didn't have click tracks.
Yeah, and we did the record with Dave Cobb, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
Sturgill.
Why'd you guys decide to do that? Because you headed outside of Louisville this time.
Yeah. Well, Zach and I called him one day, and we said, "Hey, would you like to do the record?" And he goes, "Yes, but I don't want to make another fucking Americana album." And I go, "Good, because we don't either." And we put our hats on and got weird, as he would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was great having a fifth person in there to see everything from an outside perspective.
Because the Americana thing, though, I mean, that's a real hurdle to get over.
Right.
Because it's not like you guys set out to be part of a scene. It looks like it was just coincidence and timing.
Yeah, we like rock and roll music, and we like American, the American storytelling and soul music. We like everything.
Did that really rub you wrong? As everyone says, oh, here's Houndmouth, and here's the Wild Feathers, and here's the
exactly.
Lumineers.
Well, and those bands are amazing, but it has developed into kind of a scene. But it's like, I mean, on Sedona, we found some laser sounds. Let me put them in. It's like there's no laser sounds on Americana albums.
It's really just Shane going pew pew.
There are lasers now on country music albums, by the way, just not in Americana.
The whole hip hop country thing is really blowing my
It's a
mind.
thing.
I don't understand how it's.
Eric Church.
Yeah.
Like
Mine's
mainstream
not
country
favorite.
is just pop. It's just pop music
Yeah.
now.
Getting weird, right?
And
The twang.
because it's the same writers. You're talking about workshopping
Right,
things.
right.
Yeah.
You have the same writers down, under the fluorescent lights in a room, going, okay, this one's for Taylor, and this one's for country star X. I don't know.
Yeah. Nobody sings like that. Nobody naturally sings. Well, nobody.
You do just now.
Sturgill Simpson does. Sturgill
force
Simpson's
it.
crushing.
Sturgill Simpson, you can't understand when he's singing, and that's what makes it great.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what he's saying. There's another song on the record I wanted to ask about with Otis. Otis, you sing Otis.
Yep.
Is that Otis Redding? Is that a tribute?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was like a love song to Otis Redding.
A love song to Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I mean, the lyrics, it's just a love song. Otis is probably one of my favorite singers, and I just thought it would be interesting to sort of pretend like
You were sleeping with him?
I'm sure he's pretty.
dabble in the.
I'm sure he was pretty good in there.
I dabble in dead.
dabble in cadavers.
This is not funny. This is inappropriate.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
That's what I figured. It had to be about him a little bit, but you
Yeah.
never actually
I'm
say his
just
whole
teasing.
name.
Yeah. Well, I think that I would get in trouble if I did. We weren't allowed to name the song Otis Redding.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to get in trouble for just talking about this. Right?
It's the weekly feed. No one's
somebody's
watching.
No, and I thought it was, and then it was kind of a bit mundane when we were recording it, and then it moves up a key, which is kind of like the Dusty Springfield sort of Son of a Preacher Man sort of vibe, which I thought was kind of cool of Dave to throw that.
Yeah, a lot of the writing
in
was done in the studio.
there. Yeah.
New ideas and
Like
stuff.
Say It was completely written in the studio, which was cool because we never got to do anything like that.
And you kind of do get that loose vibe throughout it.
Right.
It
yeah,
totally
we were
works.
learning the song as we went. That was completely foreign to us, playing
Yeah.
a song of that style.
Right.
Anything double time freaks me out.
He's got half it down.
Just half it down. There we go.
A bit slower. Little Neon Limelight, a fantastic record. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the third record when you're doing your synth and electro beats.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Matt's hair will be like blue then.
All right. It's the weekly feed.